Cats and kittens, chicks and chickens, it's your buddy Mo Lykit, and welcome to another episode of Mo's Half-Assed Reviews. In this episode of Mo's Half-Assed Reviews, we're going to be taking a look at the Tier 10 US and Japanese CVs and their strike planes from the new CV beta testing that is now closed, but I did have an opportunity to play around a little bit. Well, the first strike plane on both the Midway and the Hakuryu is the typical attack rocket planes. The only difference between the Tier 6 versions and the Tier 10 versions is there's more planes and they shoot a lot more rockets. Everything else acts pretty much identical to the Tier 6 versions of them. I have found the US rockets, the planes are not very hearty. The rockets do not a whole lot of damage, and they're a lot easier to get on target than the Japanese versions. Even though in that run I only got a few hits, I didn't get any fires. Again, the rockets do not do a lot of damage. The potential for damage is there. If you hit everything just right in the sweet spot, you can do a lot of damage with these. I just have found it to be an incredibly rare occurrence and a little bit of a frustrating one. But as you're about to see as I line up on this battleship, who's at about 10K, I line up my rocket attack. My reticule gets nice and small. I angle it just right and boop! Bam! 10K, I hit 7 rockets, started a fire, and finished off that battleship with just rockets. So, I don't know if it's more of a where you hit the ship or how you hit the ship, but I do seem to be doing some good damage at times with the rockets. And as always, you know, you gotta harass the ships and smokes. I think that this is going to be something really fun to do with the rockets. You got your Belfasts, your Fijis, your Minotaurs, all these little, the Kutuzovs, the DDs, all the ships that like to sit and smoke. You're going to be able to harass them with the widespread of these rockets and the number of rockets that you shoot. So you can harass ships in smoke, make them uncomfortable. Even though I hit that guy only once, I did start a fire. So if I would have hit him again and got another fire, he'd have been cooked. And you can't hate that. That's got to be a lot of fun. That is a lot of fun. So ships that sit and smoke and hope for the best, your days are numbered. These rockets are going to really give you a hard time. The Japanese rocket planes, the aiming is a little different. The reticule doesn't get as small. I've found they're a little bit harder to hit with. I mean, they're good. They're all right. But the cool thing about all the strike planes, see, I flubbed this strike run. You see a timer on the right-hand side there of the aiming reticule, and once it hits 0, my attack is canceled, and I'm able to line up for another attack. That's really cool. You don't waste any attacks besides having just a bad you just accidentally screw up on your lineup. Yeah, you'll probably miss some planes. You'll lose some planes if you're shooting something with AA, but you have the opportunity to regroup, swing back around, and try again. Again, the rockets with the Japanese, I'm sure the potential is there for fires. I don't see them starting fires like the US does. I don't see the damage, and I don't see the accuracy that I've gotten from the US. They do their job, though. They do exactly what they are supposed to do. And the one thing rocket planes I find are incredibly useful for is everybody's favorite World of Warships activity, the kill steal. This guy's low, he's burning, he's at less than 1,000 health. Boop! My kill! The rockets are great at taking out low health ships. Excellent at taking out low health ships. And I screw up this attack here. And again, I could have just waited, but I was losing all my planes anyway, so I just decided to fire them off and go on about my day. There's really nothing else much to say about the rocket planes. They do what they do. They do it well. They're interesting. They're fun. They're fast. They can really harass ships in smoke. They can get around the map like lightning. And they can potentially start fires and cause good damage. Boop! Yeah, I nail him pretty good. 9 hits in a fire. It's just an RNG thing, man. RNG. Torpedoes. The torpedo bombers on the Midway, holy shit. This is going to be a problem, especially if you get a nice tight grouping of ships like this. The arming timer on these are a lot shorter than the Japanese, so in my opinion they're a lot easier to aim. There are 3 planes in each attack group and they each drop 2 torpedoes. You are putting a shit ton of torpedoes in the water at once. And these torpedoes go on for days. This run in particularly is one that I wanted to focus on just because of how many torpedoes. Now I've put, 14 torpedoes in the water. And I got a few hits. Not a lot, but I got a few hits. But all those torpedoes, oh, got another hit, are still in the water. And they're still sailing around in that big group of ships. And I continue to get hits. There's another one. Do I get another one? I can't remember. I think I get another one. Yep, get another one. So the potential to drop 18 torpedoes on a cuddle puddle of ships behind an island to hit them from 3 different angles and keep these torps that go on for what seems like forever into the water all at once. Oh man, that has got some potential there. The tier 10s are a blast. They are so much fun. They are so much better than the tier 6. But you would believe that anyway, right? They should be. This is the pinnacle of the CVs right now. And you see how I'm getting many more hits, really good damage, just 2 torp runs and I'm at almost 90,000 damage. The flooding damage potential is insane. You go around, you hit a battleship with torpedoes, you get flooding, he repairs, he goes on about his business, you come back in with another attack run, get flooding again, and he is stuck. The alpha strike potential is back again with these tier 10s. I never really deleted anyone completely, but you can see this guy's at a little less than half health, and I am easy able to give him a nice little boop and take him right off the map, and still have 2 attack runs left with my planes. Now, alpha strike is a thing. It can happen. These are the Japanese torpedoes, which again, they are deep water torpedoes. You see the arming distance, arming range on these are significantly longer than the US. But the planes seem to be a little hardier. And I do end up getting a dev strike here shortly on that Worcester I originally shot or dropped on. And there it goes. You see how I lined up on the one ship, but it didn't really work out. Well, now I see these CVs back here, and before my planes are dead, I go ahead and drop on them because the torpedoes go on forever. Now, granted, with the captain skill of torpedo speed or acceleration, the range won't be as significant with the players that choose that skill. But for now, they go on for days. You see that? I hit that CV I dropped on, and he's going to be eating a flood for a few minutes. I do not like the deep water torpedoes just for the simple fact I cannot hit DDs with them. I do not like the arming distance on these torpedoes. It's really quirky to figure out exactly where you should really line up and drop, and if a ship turns in, if you're trying to cut it too close, they're not going to arm in time and you're not going to get any hits. It's weird, man. I don't know how to explain it. They're not terrible, though. They are not terrible. They're just very different from each other. Now, the dive bombers. The U.S. dive bombers are squishy. So squishy, they've been given another consumable, a heal. You see a really short duration heal. As I'm border humping, trying to get around this Wooster to drop dive bombs on this battleship, I am starting to get eaten up. So when I start getting eaten up, I go ahead and pop the heal on my planes, and you'll see how they do start to heal up. But because of the enormous amount of AA I'm dealing with right here with the Wooster and the battleship, my planes are not long for this world, and you can see that my full attack run ended up with one plane surviving to get a drop on. But I did get a hit and a fire. So the takeaway from the U.S. dive bombers is, holy crap, are they squishy. They do not hold up to AA well at all, which is a problem because with the dive bombers you have to really literally get on top of the ships in order to hit them. The U.S. dive bombers are a little bit more accurate. The HE is nice, you get the fires, but you see how punished they are being. You are able to hit things a lot easier with the U.S. dive bombers, in my opinion. Bam! I hit that fucker pretty good and took out one of his torpedo tubes. But I find it difficult to get 3 attack runs on with these dive bombers. You see there, I just completely lose all my planes. I can't do it. The potential is there. The heal is nice. I can see what they're trying to do here. But they are so freaking squishy. They are so affected by AA. You just lose too many planes and you have to get right on top of the ships in order to hit them. So what are you going to do here? You know what I mean? I get a really nice lineup on this guy and I get a shatter. Another thing that HE bombs are doing at tier 10. A no damage shatter. So I've lost pretty much my entire squadron just getting one shatter. And now I'm able to come back, but I'm not going to have as many planes when I'm getting there. I'm coming in on them. It's tragic. I get a nice little fire, another shatter, and a couple of hits, and the Zhao's fire takes him out. The Japanese dive bombers are a pleasant surprise. Again, they are AP bombs, so you're not going to be going after destroyers with them very often. But look how much healthier they are. I like the way the attack run happens with the Japanese. You have a much longer... You can set up for your attack from farther away than the US. The US, you've literally got to be on top of the ship. The Japanese, you can start your attack run from farther away and the reticule moves towards the ship all the way up until the end, and boop, you can get citadels. Yes, citadels are a thing and they do exist. I didn't see any citadels in my time with the tier 6, but with the tier 10, I am consistently getting citadels. And again, look at how much better these planes are standing up to the AA versus the US. That is significant. The Japanese dive bombers are awesome. Torpedoes, meh. Rockets, meh. And I hated the tier 6 Japanese dive bombers. But God, I love the tier 10 Japanese dive bombers. They're freaking awesome. They're so much easier to hit with, so much more fun to play with. And again, they hold up. So this is a Wooster here, guys. This is a Wooster. And I have only lost one plane so far. Boop. Yep. I Citadel his ass, and I have the health to come back and make another run. The Japanese dive bombers do not get the heal like the US do, but the Japanese are so much better at taking punishment. And again, the way the angle of attack works, the way you line it up, so much better. I was able to attempt to hit him twice. Now, as far as my Midway stats go, I played 5 games in the Midway for an 80% win rate, an average of 114,000 damage. Best game, 2 kills, 180,000 damage. Not too shabby. I didn't get as much time with the tier 10s as I wish I could have. In the Hakuryu, I only played 3 games for a 67% win rate, an average damage of 81,000, with my best score being 3 kills and 152,000 damage. Overall, guys, the CVs are fun. I love them. I'm having a blast playing them. I can't wait for the test server to go back live so I can get another chance to get in these boats. Don't freak out. It's a good thing. The game needed it, and it's going to be all right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Send me anything you want to moreplays@gmail.com. And as always, nothing but love from Mo to you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your others. We'll see you out there in the seas, kids. And we will talk to you soon.